The next problem that we're going to work on is going to be a lot of fun because it is the classic interview question. It is Fizzbuzz, the question that has been asked more times than you could possibly believe in an interview setting. So in our Fizzbuzz folder, we're going to open up the index.js file. We'll also immediately start up our test for Fizzbuzz as well. So at my terminal, I'll run jest fizzbuzz/test.js -- watch, like so. And then we should verify and make sure that we see 3 tests in total right now. 2 are failing, 1 are passing. Okay, so like I said, Fizzbuzz is the classic interview question. As we said much earlier in the course, one of the first sections we looked at, in one of those earlier sections we had said that Fizzbuzz is a problem that is really kind of challenging, maybe moderately challenging the first time you see it. But as soon as you learn that little trick to it, it becomes the easiest thing in the world, or so everyone claims. So really, if you haven't seen this problem before, don't sweat it if it seems challenging. It's not until you see the little trick that it starts to get a little bit easier to handle. So let's make sure that it's really clear exactly how this problem works. We have our Fizzbuzz function down here towards the bottom. When we call the Fizzbuzz function with some whole number, so some whole positive number, we need to print out all the numbers from 1 to that number. So when I say print out, I really mean console logs. We're going to console log out all the numbers from 1 to n. However, for any number that is a multiple of 3, so a multiple of 3, we are going to print out the string fizz. If the number is a multiple of 5, we're going to print out buzz. If the number is a multiple of both 3 and 5, then we're going to print out Fizzbuzz. That's it. So the real challenge here, as I would really imagine you know how to count console log, you know how to write a for loop to loop from 1 to n. Clearly the challenge here is determining when the number is a multiple of 3 and 5. So that's it. That's the little trick. That's all there is. As long as you can figure out exactly how to calculate a multiple of a number, you can solve this problem without any issue. So let's do a quick reminder on how to calculate a multiple of a given number in JavaScript. So I'm going to flip back over to my little notepad here. So we're going to use a very specific operator. Now when I say operator, I'm talking about like an addition sign, a negative sign, or a minus sign, division, whatever it might be. So if we say, for example, 1 minus 1. In this case, the minus sign right here is our operator. Now there's a very rarely used operator in the JavaScript world called the modulo operator. And we spell that modulo, like so. So with the modulo operator, we can determine the remainder of a number during division. So for example, if we took 9 modulo 3, it returns 0. So in this case, it is 0 because if we divide 9 by 3, 3 goes into 9 exactly 3 times, and there is no remainder left over. However, if we divide 10 by 3, well then 3 goes into 10 still 3 times, and there's 1 left over. So 3 times 3 equals 9. That is 1 away from 10, and that's why we get a result of 1 over here. If we do 11 mod 3, well then we're 2 away, but if we go to 12, 12 is again a multiple of 3, so we're back to 0. So to determine if a number is a multiple of another, we can use the modulo operator. And essentially what we want to do is take some given number that we're trying to test, use the modulo operator with the number that we are using as the multiple, and then the real question here that we are asking is whether or not the result of that is equal to 0. If 12 mod 3 is equal to 0, then 12 must be a multiple of 3. However, if we use 11 mod 3, this is not equal to 0, so we get false. So this right here is pretty much it. This right here is the line that is the sole trick to Fizzbuzz. All you need to know is how that modulo operator works, and then you can solve the entire problem. So in practice, you're going to test for each number from 1 to n, and remember n is the number that we pass in as an argument to the Fizzbuzz function right here. You're going to test to see if a given number modulo 3 is equal to 0, and if a given number modulo 5 is equal to a given number, or is equal to 0. And that's pretty much it. That's the challenge here. So I'd like you to give this thing a shot. Now, as you're working through it, there is one thing that I want to point out here, just because of how the tests are written. Note that when you are printing out fizz and buzz and Fizzbuzz for multiples of 3 and 5, notice that the expectation is that you're going to print out lowercase fizz. So lowercase fizz, not uppercase. We're doing lowercase fizz here. That is specifically what the tests are looking for. Now the other thing to keep in mind is that you are not returning these numbers. So if you find a multiple, you're not returning it from the function. You are console logging the number. Okay? Okay, so with that, I'd like you to take a shot, give it the best you darn can, and we'll go over the solution in the next section. So I'll see you in just a minute.